And welcome to day number 2 of the 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jam at Burgess Snow Field at Jacksonville State University. We're live at Jacksonville State on TV24 and streaming live at TV24.tv. Day number 2 of the Spring Jam is here, and we are featuring games with the White Plains Wildcats, our first game, and Pleasant Valley Raiders. You see the coin toss getting underway right there. Later on today, we're going to have Saxon Russellville. I'm Carl Brady. John Holder is with me as well.
Well, welcome in, folks. Day number 2, as you said, Carl. We've got tremendous football coming up as we'll have 2 complete games. Of course, the format for the Spring Jam is we'll play complete games, 4 12-minute quarters with a regular clock. The only real difference being is that last quarter in both games will be JV players or B team players. But for the first 3 quarters, it will be all varsity players. Right. And so pretty much a complete regular game for the most part coming up in these 2 games tonight between White Plains and Pleasant Valley and Saxon Russellville coming up later on tonight.
And you can see there a special guest joining us for the coin toss down on the field, and that is Teacher Hall of Fame inductee Julie Koshan from White Plains Middle School. Julie is a 16-year veteran math teacher from White Plains. She sponsors the 6th grade White Plains Middle School math team, which is in recent years won first place in the Calhoun County Math Tournament. She is an AmSty trainer in National Math and Science, A+ readiness trainer. She received both her undergraduate and master's degrees from Jacksonville State. She was honored to be the General Education Teacher of the Year for the state of Alabama in the Exceptional Children Department for 2016. She is a 2017 Calhoun County JSU Middle School Teacher Hall of Fame inductee. She has taught numerous students classical voice lessons as well. She sings specials at church and is a member of a church handbell choir. In her free time, she enjoys traveling and spending time with her family, especially her nephews. So happy to have a Teacher Hall of Fame inductee, Julie Koshan, coming out and joining us for our first game today. Again, day number 2 of the Calhoun County Spring Jam, featuring all the teams in Calhoun County over a couple of days.
Calhoun County System Schools plus Russellville, and the first snap, we'll have, again, just a simulated kickoff. And so the first snap of the game is going to be Pleasant Valley and White Plains, and Pleasant Valley right off the bat. He may take it all the way to the house, breaks the tackle, and going to the end zone. That is going to be number 32 for Pleasant Valley. I'm trying to find him on the roster here, and 32 for the Raiders is Colton East, and he takes it all the way 65 yards on the first play of the game for a Pleasant Valley touchdown.
Right off the bat, Pleasant Valley striking hard as we get started very quickly here. Remember, the kicking game is not live today. We'll be simulating kickoffs. We will be kicking extra points and field goals, but there will be no rush. We'll wait till we get to the punts to see exactly what they plan to do. Every game has been different so far. We may simulate the punt, move the ball 35 yards. We may let them punt with no return. We'll just wait and see what the coaches have decided down on the sideline as we take a look at Pleasant Valley in the blue, getting ready for their point after the touchdown on their first play from scrimmage.
I remember seeing the bracket briefly.
Pleasant Valley having some trouble getting all the players out there. Remember, this is only the 10th day of practice for these teams, and most schools, especially in small schools, there's just not the numbers of the staff to really work on special teams a lot, so you can totally understand being able to unable to get the folks out there, especially on a quick scoring play like that, but they are able to get the extra point up, and Pleasant Valley takes an early 7-0 lead. Colton East, a 5'8", 205-pound spark plug, big guy, and he rumbles and had a big hole from the first play from scrimmage and goes all the way to the end zone. Jonathan Nix there was the head football coach at Pleasant Valley, trying to get things turned around. Longtime coach at Raglan High School, very successful at Raglan with numerous deep state playoff runs at Raglan. Now trying to get things turned around here in Calhoun County at Pleasant Valley.
White Plains now on offense.
That's Pat Harris, the senior running back, taking the handoff, getting a couple yards up through there. Very quickly, we saw yesterday in our first game, offenses were really on par right off the bat there with Ohatchee and Weaver yesterday. And today, obviously, with Pleasant Valley taking it 65 yards for a touchdown run of the very first play of the game, offense is having no trouble getting untracked.
Ryan Bannister at quarterback with a handoff to number 3, James Elrod. Elrod is going to gain a few yards out to about the 42-yard line.
James Elrod on the carry.
Already some pushing, shoving, and mouthing going on out there just a couple of minutes into this matchup.
Big third down coming up here for White Plains, really trying to play some power football here. You look at what White Plains does schematically, it's very similar to what we see Ohatchee do, where they line up with no wide receivers, a quarterback in the shotgun, a tailback, really an H-back, and just running the same style of offense. And there's a toss sweep that basically gets a first down. So the power football working early here, Carl, for White Plains.
And the carry by Pat Harris, number 19, upcoming senior running back. As you see this, just a quick toss right out to the right side behind his defenders. He's going to get out to the 46-yard line where he picks up that first down.
Almost an instant replay. It's almost a carbon copy of what we've seen early on. I'm sure there are some differences, but we're seeing basically what Ohatchee runs. This is what they do, and we're seeing White Plains kind of adopting the whole deal.
They fake that toss to Harris. Bannister's going to keep it himself. He'll go down at the 49-yard line, pick up second down for White Plains.
Both these teams coming into the 2017 season looking to turn things around, as we said. Jonathan Nix and his team last year started off very hot. They were 2-0, a lot of momentum, but then that was the last two that they won as they wound up at 2-8. White Plains had a couple of chances against Aniana and Westbrook to break into the win column. Other than that, they, to be quite honest, were not close, and they finished the season 0-10 in 2016.
Second down and about 7 to go for the Wildcats. Bannister looking to throw this time. Chooses his receiver in traffic. Pass is complete to the 40-yard line, and that is Pat Harris on the reception, number 19.
Nice throw and catch, and watch him thread the needle right here. Bannister rolling out, looking, squares his shoulders. Nice throw. 3 blue jerseys in the air, actually 4 blue jerseys there, and he was able to get it in there, and another first down for White Plains. So again, now we saw Pleasant Valley, first play of scrimmage, taking it 65 yards for a touchdown. And now White Plains responding with a nice-looking drive already deep into Pleasant Valley territory at the 40.
First down for the Wildcats, 40-yard line. Bannister in the shotgun formation still. Harris goes into motion. There's a handoff. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage. James Elrod took the handoff, and there was a Raider in the backfield as soon as he got the ball.
Well, one of the key returnees for Pleasant Valley is Ethan Borders, and Borders that time coming up from his outside linebacker position. We'll see him a lot at running back. He just shed the blocker. No one really touched him, and he came into the backfield. Nice open field tackle for a 5-yard loss. So now a second and long situation here for White Plains. They've been in short yardage situations throughout this drive. Let's see what they do in their first long yardage situation here with 15 to make the first down.
They're going to put Bannister under center. Hand off to the fullback as he comes through, Garrison Abbott. And he is going to be shy of the original line of scrimmage. He'll go to the 42-yard line, and that'll bring up third down at about 12.
Ball sitting outside the 41. They've got to go down to about the 30-yard line to get the first down. So a key third down conversion here coming up for White Plains.
Here he picks up 4, third down, 11.
Again, shotgun formation, this time with 2 wideouts on the far side, 1 to the near side. Bannister is feeling a little pressure, but we have a flag coming in from the far sideline.
First penalty of the game. We had a lot of penalties in the game yesterday at this same time between Ohatchee and Weaver. First penalty of this game, but that will be against White Plains. As the call, as you see here, will be a false start, illegal motion, and now it's third down and even longer, close to 17 to go now for the first.
That moves the ball back to around the 46-yard line. Third down again for White Plains. Again, Bannister looking to the air, goes over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Ethan Bozarth. He was well protected there in the middle. Difficult throw to get through.
With the first bad throw of the game by Bannister, as that one was a little bit behind the receiver, also high. And we'll have the simulated punt here. Of course, no live punting in this format for this jamboree. And so basically I think it's a 35-yard punt.
4th down, 16.
With the ball being at the 46, we believe that should put the ball way down. Actually, they're going to mark it the 20-yard line.
Tonight, or this afternoon's game. Special teams
Warm
are
day
on
here
the
at
line.
Jacksonville State University, John. So these guys are already getting a taste of what they're in for August and September when the regular season rolls around. Summer practice, it's hovering about 90 degrees with a lot of sunshine today, so pretty warm down there on the turf of the field.
Well, the first few weeks of the season in late August, early September, this is exactly what the weather will be like at kickoff time, so it is a good simulation of that. And we see Ethan Borders. We talked about we would see him a lot at tailback. He had a lot of carries. He's certainly not the biggest running back in Calhoun County, but pound for pound, he may be the most effective running back in any class in this county. He's an outstanding football player. Not a big guy, about 145 pounds and 5'8", but Borders that time, right off the bat, getting 10 yards in the first down. So they run 2 plays and had a total of, about 70-plus yards and a touchdown. It's a pretty good offensive average for Pleasant Valley so far.
Handoff goes this time for Pleasant Valley. And that again is number 32, Colton East on the carry. He will be marked at the 39-yard line. He'll be just a yard shy of the first down.
There's Jonathan Nix, as we said, who won his first 2 games last year, and that was an improvement from 0-10 to 2-8 in 2016. As we said, former head coach at Ragland and also at Asheville High School over in St. Clair County. 3rd year now with the Pleasant Valley Raiders, and they compete in that toughest region in the state in 3A, and that always rugged 3A Region 5.
Another handoff for the Raiders this time, and plenty of room to run on the near sideline. Nobody's going to catch him. Another touchdown in the books for Pleasant Valley, and that is number 10, Reagan King on the carry.
Another key returnee for Jonathan Nix is Reagan King. Had a nice season last year, and again, just takes the handoff, goes outside, slips 1 tackle at about midfield, and then outran the rest of the White Plains defense to the end zone for another long touchdown. This one goes 60 yards, and the Wildcats have run basically, 4 plays and 2 touchdowns. I should say the Raiders.
Matisse Miller out on the field for the point after. Again, this part of the kicking game is semi-live. The kickers will get to kick the extra points, but there will not be a rush. And that extra point is going to be no good. But with 6:16 remaining in the first quarter, we've got Pleasant Valley at 13, White Plains at nothing. We'll take the break.
The 2017 college football season kicks off in Montgomery. The Guardian Credit Union FCS kickoff will open the college football season on Saturday, August 26th at 5 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. Don't miss 2 of the nation's top-ranked FCS teams, the Jacksonville State University Gamecocks and the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga Mocs at historic Crampton Bowl. Visit GuardianKickoffClassic.com for the FanFest schedule of events and game information.
You will take more than 672 million breaths throughout your lifetime. Yet life is not measured by the number of breaths you take, but by the moments that take your breath away. JSU is proud to offer Northeast Alabama's only Bachelor of Science in Respiratory Therapy. Now enrolling tomorrow's breathing specialist. Breathe easy.
And back to action here at the Calhoun County Spring Jam. As you see, the White Plains Wildcats back on offense. This is their second play. Missed a play during the commercial break there, and that will bring up 3rd down. No big gain on that play. 3rd down and about 8 to go for the Wildcats.
Ethan Bozart with the run there, and we're going to have a timeout called. So a stoppage in play here right after the touchdown. Run a couple of plays and then a timeout being called. We take a look at the White Plains sidelines over there. Chris White, head coach of the White Plains Wildcats. Again, 2 teams that play in very, very tough regions. and it's really tough to try to climb that ladder. Pleasant Valley, as we mentioned, no doubt playing in the toughest 3A region in the state. All the 4 teams that were left in North Alabama once they got to the quarterfinals last year were in Pleasant Valley's region. And then you look at White Plains region in Class 4A with folks like Cherokee County and Hoax Bluff. Hoax Bluff was a state semifinalist last year. Cherokee County was a quarterfinalist last year. Jacksonville, very good. Then you've got, you know, folks like Cleburne County and Anniston in that region as well. Sachs, who we'll see later on this afternoon, who was as good as anybody in this part of the state at the end of last season. You see Chris White there at White Plains. Third White Plains coach in 5 years. He was for many years a longtime White Plains assistant. This is his first head coaching job at White Plains as he begins year number 3 out in eastern Calhoun County.
Coming back to action after the timeout, and Bannister immediately goes to the air. Pass is complete at the 30-yard line. We have a flag coming in. There'll be some kind of interference. We'll sort it out here in just a moment. The receiver is number 11, Austin Bussey. The tight end, listed as a tight end. And, John, that timeout, just being told they've decided because it's 90 degrees out there to have heat timeouts during this first game today. So that was one of our first heat timeouts of the game. And we're going to have pass interference.
Now, obviously, will be declined by White Plains, so that winds up being a big play to Austin Bussey all the way down inside the 30-yard line, not only picking up the first down, but about 30 yards in the process, and the first real scoring opportunity here by White Plains.
White Plains goes with a handoff again to Pat Harris. Harris will gain to the 33-yard line.
Harris, a transfer in from Walter Welborn High School.
About a yard gain on the play. It'll be second down and 9 to go for White Plains. 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jam continues. We had 2 games last night, 2 more games tonight. Another handoff to Harris. Pushing his way in for another yard gain down to the 27-yard line. I think I was counting the yard lines backwards earlier. We're at the 27-yard line for the Wildcats.
Reagan Keene coming in, making the tackle for Pleasant Valley. Nice defensive stand by the Raiders these last 2 snaps. And now another third down and a long situation for White Plains, about 8 yards to get this first down.
Third down 7.
Bannister looking to throw. Going right up the middle, has a man open near the end zone, and he overthrows him. Overthrows his intended receiver. That is Harris, Pat Harris, number 19. Harris was behind the defense, and a nice pass would have scored a touchdown.
Harris obviously going to be a very key part of this White Plains offense in 2017. We've seen him line up in a number of positions, wide receiver, running back. He's got the skill set. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe ran a direct snap to him, maybe some Wildcat stuff, something like that with him. See if they have that in their playbook.
Bannister, nice pass inside the 10-yard line. It's complete at the 9. Austin Bussey with the catch this time, and nice shot right on target there for Bannister.
Another good throw by Bannister, and 2 great catches in a row by Bussey. These have been difficult catches. One looking back over 2 defenders on the pass interference play where he caught the long pass. That one was in traffic, had to go up to get that, knew he was going to get hit and take a hard fall, and again made the snag in traffic, and it's a 1st and goal now for White Plains inside the 10.
Handoff goes right up the middle. They'll get inside the 5-yard line. Looks like Harris. Harris was a blocker there. Let's see who the
Charlie Huey, I think, number 1 coming up out of the pile there. And that was a nicely designed play that time, Carl. They had a lot of motion going, a lot of misdirection, guys going outside, then hand it to the crossing back coming to the inside, able to pick off some nice yardage, and now they're down to the 5-yard line, actually a little bit inside the 5.
2nd and goal for the Wildcats. Again, the same handoff up the left side of the line. They will be shy of the touchdown, but they are on about the 1-yard line. And it looks like Huey again getting the call there for the Wildcats.
Hewitt direct handoff that time, did a nice job of keeping those legs moving, and churned in there for about 4 yards. So now 3rd and goal at the 1. Obviously, this is 4-down territory for White Plains. So 2 shots for the Wildcats to get it in from the 1.
And we are going to have whistles blowing. Timeouts going to be called.
Timeout by Pleasant
by
Valley.
Pleasant Valley on defense there. So they wanted to adjust their scheme for the goal line stand. 2:24 remaining in first quarter action. Pleasant Valley with the 13-0 lead so far. Spring football on TV 24 and live streaming as well at TV24.tv, or if you happen to have your mobile device, it might be a little easier to download the live stream app. If you have the live stream app on your phone or mobile device, search for WEAC TV 24, and there you'll find all of the live events for TV 24 there, and you can watch easily on your mobile device wherever you happen to go today.
A lot of fans out here. It is hot out here. Kickoff temperature we talked about earlier, probably sitting at about 89 degrees. The big difference has been, as opposed to some of the spring games over here last weekend, is the humidity and dew point values are sky high. We're well into the 70s as far as dew point and humidity values, and so the direct sun last night, we had some cloud cover, kind of helped, but now a direct sunshine today.
Bannister going to take it himself, goes right up the middle behind the center for a touchdown for the White Plains Wildcats. 1 yard carry there.
So after 2 big offensive explosive plays, long plays by the Pleasant Valley Raiders to take the quick lead, a nice time-consuming drive the length of the field by the White Plains offense, and they respond to cut the lead down to 13-6, and it looks like they are going to try the extra point again. No rush here, trying to make the extra point to cut it down to a 6-point game.
That's Charlie Huey out there lining up for the kick.
Hands on hips. Go Raiders.
Really taking your time on that one. And the point after is no good. So 13-6 is your score. 2:19 remaining in first quarter action here of the first game of 2 today. Today's game between White Plains and Pleasant Valley. Later on tonight, Saxe and Russellville with the Calhoun County Spring Jam. Then don't forget, tomorrow we'll continue with the TV24 Gridiron Challenge, another complete full day of high school football action live from JSU here on TV24. Kickoff of that first game tomorrow is at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then we'll run, I think the final kickoff tomorrow night's 4:30, 5 o'clock, something like that. So pretty much all day long football action again tomorrow here at JSU.
Teams coming from all over the state of Alabama, literally, for all day long football from 10 till 5 tomorrow here at JSU Stadium.
Pleasant Valley back on offense. Handoff for the Raiders. That is number 6, Ethan Borders once again. Borders will gain about a yard, maybe give him 2 there.
And Borders is that classic guy where sometimes the small stature helps you a lot because you get behind a pretty beefy offensive line like Pleasant Valley has, and he kind of gets lost in there, and so he can kind of dance around. You can't really get a good shot at him and see him. Before you know it, he hits the hole and gets a big yard.
Second down, almost 9 to go. Double handoff for Pleasant Valley. Colton East has the ball, and he's going to get pushed back. No gain on the play, maybe just a 6-inch gain or so. And that will bring up second down and 8.
Mac Young leading the way that time for White Plains. And after the first 2 series where basically not much of a challenge was given to this Pleasant Valley offense, now we've got a 3rd down and 8 situation coming up. As on this series, it seems like the White Plains defense has settled down, playing some very good football, but a big key 3rd and 8 here. Let's see if the White Plains D can get off the field.
And the pass is overthrown. Just a short little screen pass attempted for number 10, Reagan King. And quarterback is Brody Phillips. I don't know if we've mentioned that yet. Wearing number 12, an upcoming sophomore. Phillips, a quarterback. That will be a 4th down, 4th and 8. for the Raiders.
That was close to being a lateral. Officials made a good call, though, and just called that an incomplete pass. But a nice defensive stance. I'm sure Chris White and his staff very pleased after especially what happened with the first two series of the game where Pleasant Valley had those big explosive plays. That time, 3 plays and a total of 2 yards. So much improvement already here in the first quarter by the White Plains defense.
We'll simulate the punt, move the ball 35 yards, and that'll take it down to the 28-yard line for White Plains.
White Plains with a time-consuming drive on the last series that ended in a touchdown where they went pretty much the length of the field. Let's see if the Wildcats can do that again here with 45 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Of course, we'll play 3 quarters of varsity action and then mandated that once they get to that fourth quarter, that will be B-team players only for both sides in that fourth quarter. But that will be a full 12-minute quarter. We're going to have a substitution infraction. It looks like that Pat Harris was trying to get off the field, and it looks like they may have broken the huddle with 12 men. So that will be an illegal substitution. And that will go against White Plains. So immediately, Carl, they're going to be backed up in the hole once again with a 1st and 15.
1st and 15, the ball at the 23-yard line for the Wildcats. And as you said, only 9 days of practice so far in the spring, so still making sure everybody gets where they're supposed to get. Bannister, shotgun, looking to throw, looks across the middle, almost intercepted. That was number 32, Colton East, on the defense there. The ball just went right through his hands.
Bands and cheerleaders here for the Spring Jam. Pleasant Valley Band here. The White Plains Band is about to make their way into the stadium, a little late arriving here at JSU Stadium. Cheerleaders, band. Nice group of fans here, I would imagine, as folks get off work and the temperatures cool off a little bit, the crowds will grow as we move through the evening.
2nd down and 15 for the Wildcats. Bannister gets hit just as he releases the ball. A complete pass to Charlie Huey, and Huey will get out to near the 32-yard line.
Nice effort by Huey out there to shed a couple of tackles and get some extra yards after the catch. In the flat, wide open, takes the ball. Nice move there to avoid the tackler and then drags another tackler for another couple of yards. And that's a nice pickup to at least make this a more manageable 3rd down conversion coming up 3rd and about 8.
Let's just see Bannister coming back in from the sidelines. He's getting quite a workout. He runs all the way over to the sidelines to get the play call, and that is going to run down the clock in the first quarter of action here at the Calhoun County Spring Jam Day number 2. 13-6 is your score. Pleasant Valley leading White Plains.
White Plains 6.
I got back my smack talk touchdown, hole-in-one, 3-point home run, hat trick, pavement pounding, record-setting goal across the finish line. Because Core didn't give up, I didn't give up, and I certainly didn't give in. I'm gonna get back to doing what I love. I'm gonna get back to winning.
Join us May 19th and 20th for the Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show, presented by America's First Federal Credit Union. Come experience Alabama's largest in-water boat show. Test drive pontoons from Bennington, Sun Tracker, Silver Wave, South Bay Regency, and Avalon. Fishing boats from Tracker, Nitro, Express, and Challenger. And personal watercraft from Sea-Doo. Weekend events include fireworks, live music, vendors, and giveaways, including a brand new lake-ready Sun Tracker pontoon boat. May 19th and 20th in Pell City. We'll see you on the lake.
And we're back to the 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jams. We get ready to start the second quarter of action of today's first game. 2 games going to be played today. We've got Saxon Russell coming up in the second game, which will be roughly 7:30, 7:35-ish getting started. White Plains, Pleasant Valley playing here at JSU right now. White Plains on offense, 3rd down and about 8 as they flip the field. Bannister looking to throw again and throws it into some traffic. It's going to be intercepted for Pleasant Valley. That is number 14. It'll take us a second
That's
to find him there.
Nick Smith. Nick Smith, a senior, with the pickoff there. Kind of unusual. We've seen a lot of variety of formations here as we see a replay here. Heavy pressure coming. Made a deep throw, just a little bit short, and a nice play on the football there. Kind of playing center field was Nick Smith, who gets the INT. Good field position now for Pleasant Valley. But, you know, White Plains began this game with no wide receivers, 2 tight ends, H-back, shotgun formation. That time they go to a shotgun formation with no backs and 4 wide receivers. So they have gone from a power running game to a spread fun and gun type deal just in the span of 1 quarter.
Pleasant Valley back on offense. Phillips under center with a handoff. We'll have about a 2-yard gain on the play there to the 46.
Good field position for the Raiders here. Close to the 50-yard line. 2nd and 8 coming up. And we mentioned that we had a little bit of cloud cover yesterday. We're starting to get that again now. It's not as much as yesterday, but we're getting a brief respite from the sunshine that was at the kickoff of this game. It was full 100% sunshine, and probably down on the field with the turf, the temperatures were probably in the upper 90s. And that turf down there probably adds a good another 10 degrees when you've got full sunshine like that.
2nd down for Pleasant Valley. Phillips in the shotgun formation. They're under center, and the handoff. Going to lose some yardage there. Reagan King on the carry. He'll be caught behind the line of scrimmage, go down about the 43-yard line. I believe is where they're going to mark him, between the 42 and 43. That'll bring up 3rd down, and now 11 to go. So about a 3 or 4 yard loss on the play.
I'm just really impressed by the response of the White Plains defense. And those first 2 drives of the game, which were really 2 big plays, White Plains has settled in now. They have shut down this Pleasant Valley offense in the last 2 possessions, forcing another 3rd down and long situation for the Raiders.
Single wide out on the far side for Phillips. Fakes the handoff, rolling to the far side, looks to throw. Throws over and behind his intended receiver. And the intended receiver there is number 35, Alex Paris.
Paris was open, but the ball just right behind him. We got 2 penalty flags on the field at around the 50-yard line. So let's sort this out from the officials and see what the call is going to be here. This was away from where the football was, so might be the area of a hold. We'll let the officials give us the official word here. A discussion going on. I think they're trying to determine where to place the football, and here's the call. It's going to be a personal foul penalty, and what a killer penalty that is. That's a dead ball foul after the play and a 15-yard penalty against White Plains. And as a coach, Carl, that is the kind of plays that when you're trying to build a winning program, that's the kind of plays that just drive you crazy because you had stopped them. It was 3rd down 11. You force an incomplete pass. You're going to get your defense off the field, and dead ball after the play is over, a personal foul penalty, which is totally unnecessary. And not only do you give up the yards, but the big thing is you give them a 1st down and a new set of series.
Absolutely. A 1st down, new momentum for Pleasant Valley. Phillips again with the handoff, this time up the middle. Player gaining 3 yards to the 40-yard line. Looked like Colton East on the carry again.
And that's the kind of, we say put an asterisk by that play because, you know, you don't know what's going to happen next. But if this winds up being a touchdown or a scoring opportunity here for Pleasant Valley at the end of this drive, asterisk that and go back because it will be directly because of that play right there.
2nd down and about 7 for the Raiders. Again, Phillips with the handoff into the 35-yard line. That's Borders, Ethan Borders on the carry. And that'll make a 3rd down and about 2 yards to go for Pleasant Valley.
Nice game by the Raiders with new momentum after that penalty. A 3rd down and very makeable, about 1.5 yards. They need to go not quite to the 33, probably the 33.5 should do it, and they would have the 1st down. Big 3rd down here for both teams.
Phillips going to keep it himself. Powers right up the middle, follows his center, and he's going to pick up the 1st down and get all the way to the 30-yard line for the Raiders.
Nice surge by the Pleasant Valley offensive front that time as they just kind of walled off and sealed it off, and he just kind of stuck it in there and just kind of walked behind his line and was able to pick up much more than what he needed. Needed about 1.5 yards and wound up getting about 4 or so and the first down.
And they'll mark him at the 31-yard line, so first down at the 31 for the Raiders. See Brody Phillips at quarterback. Double handoff. Right on the OVC logo. Play will get all the way into about the 23-yard line. And that's Colton East again on the carry.
Colton East took the first play from scrimmage all the way to the house for a touchdown. And another nice run that time, right in a lot of traffic, carrying 2 or 3 white jerseys with him, running over another one. A tough run in there to take it inside the 25. An 8-yard gain on first down. Every coach will take that.
2nd and 2 for the Raiders. Phillips, another handoff. This time to number 6, Ethan Borders. Borders, momentum will carry him to the 20-yard line. It'll be enough for another first down.
I'll promise you, Ethan Borders, pound for pound, is as tough of a football player as there is in East Alabama. And I don't care if it's 1A, 7A, whatever it is. He's an outstanding football player. Really a big key to Pleasant Valley last year. Will play another big role in their offensive production this year. And he picked up the first down on that play.
And we're going to have the second quarter heat timeout here, it looks like. Well, no. The chain broke over on the sideline, so they've got to get that taken care of. I guess they got it fixed. 1st and 10. Little delayed handoff there and having a hard time with the artificial turf. As Ethan Borders, he'll fall down at the 20, no gain on the play.
There is an adjustment. When you're a high school person who comes in and you're used to playing on grass the entire time, it is different. The turf is different. You got those rubber pellets out there instead of the dirt and the grass and the roots. And sometimes when you're trying to make a hard cut, especially if you're a smaller guy where you don't have a lot of weight to put down on it, that turf will give way and you'll lose your footing. That's what happened there with Borders.
And these guys don't have the specialized cleats for playing on this kind of turf. A lot of times they'll play with a little bit longer of a cleat on this than they do on the hard-packed dirt on a regular football field.
That's an excellent point. Another nice run there by Pleasant Valley, a more manageable third down. And I think this is a key third down for us. There's a look at the turf there. And a lot of times you'll see players, we've seen it already, where the guys, even from far away, way up here in the press box, you can see those black pellets kind of kicking up in the air.
Pleasant Valley with the handoff. Coming to the near side, a dive there toward the end, but it'll be out of bounds. That's Reagan King. He'll go out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Makes it 1st and goal, though.
Nice job by King getting to the corner. Tried to give the stiff arm, but an outstanding effort over there by White Plains. That was number 4, Garrison Abbott, coming up to knock him out and prevent the touchdown. But they'll mark it at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal now for the Raiders.
And again, this is where we go back and check that asterisk by that penalty earlier that kept this drive alive for the Raiders. And there's going to be a handoff, not all the way into the end zone, but
looks
just
like he may have,
right outside it.
He fumbled the football, actually. They're going to say a fumble, and White Plains jumps on it at the 1-foot line. What a mistake by Pleasant Valley. Had 1st and goal at the 2. And then the ball ripped out. You'll see it come loose right there. There's the ball laying there on the goal line. And that's about as I'm not sure that the ball is, it looks like the back nose of that football is sitting right on the goal line. What a tremendous turn of events there if you're White Plains, where you are backed up to your own goal line. And then all of a sudden you get the fumble. Big mistake there. 2 mistakes in that drive by both teams. The penalty that gave Pleasant Valley new life, and Pleasant Valley fumbling right there literally on the goal line.
So White Plains will have the ball right on the goal line and drive it out to try to give themselves a little bit of room. Ryan Bannister on the carry out to the 5-yard line, so almost a full 5-yard pickup on that play there.
Nice job by the Wildcats to move that off the goal line. Literally a 5-yard gain because they were as close as you could be to that white line on the goal line as possible, and now they're out to the 5-yard line. So a nice gain there for White Plains. Can they take this the length of the field with about 6 minutes to go in the half and try to tie this thing up?
Bannister with the handoff this time to Ethan Bozarth. Bozarth will get near the 10-yard line. Won't quite be enough for the first down, but it'll be close.
Have an official timeout, so this will be for the Heat timeout.
5:49 remaining in the first half of action. 13-6 is your score.
Hi, my name is Reverend Jeffrey C. Williams, the owner and licensed funeral director of Anderson Funeral Services. At Anderson Funeral Services, we are compassionate and caring individuals committed providing quality and professional service at affordable prices. We are where service begins and never ends, and love is what love does.
Aniston Funeral Services offers affordable services to meet any need for all families. Aniston Funeral Services, 630 South Wilmer Avenue, where service begins and never ends.
At Family Health and Wellness Center in Oxford, we believe in treating every patient like members of our own family. That's what we do every day. Dr. Edmund, a board-certified primary care physician, and his staff are here for you through each step of your wellness journey. Dr. Edmund also routinely visits his patients who have been hospitalized and makes follow-up calls to ensure they are on the road to recovery. Check us out online, call us, or come by our office. One visit and you'll know you're a member of our
We're back. Second quarter action on the Calhoun County Spring Jam. As White Plains trying to come out from the goal line and try to move the ball out a little bit, and they're doing so pretty successfully, picking up the first down there at about the 12-yard line.
Third down, less than a yard, got 2 yards, and here come the Wildcats now after getting that fumble literally at the goal line. They've now brought it out, got a first down, back out outside the 10-yard line.
Tackle from 32, Colton East.
Good look at the quarterback there, Ryan Bannister. He'll be a senior when the season comes around later this year. Hand off. Across the 15 to near the 16-yard line.
Now goes off left tackle
for the Wildcats. And that is
Harris again.
Number 19, Pat Harris.
So let's see what White Plains can do here as they try to drive this thing really 100 yards. If they can get a touchdown, they will have driven 99.9 yards if they do that. And they've got about 4:45 to cover the next 84 yards or so.
Second down, about 7. Bannister looks to throw. Pass complete to Charlie Huey, and Huey will go down to the 20. That'll be third down and still about 3 yards to go for the Wildcats.
Coach Chris White and the White Plains staff throwing a lot of formations at Pleasant Valley. We've seen no wide receivers. We've seen 4 wide receivers. We've seen a lot of motion, a lot of guys in motion, a lot of movement in the backfield, a lot of different sets. They come out of the 4 wides. Now they're going back to the 2 tight end set with an H-back. And no wide receivers, and it looks like we may have an encroachment on Pleasant Valley.
Flag coming from the far sideline. Will be an offsides against the Raiders. We'll move the ball up 5 more yards, and that will be a first down for White Plains at the 25-yard line.
That's one of those critical mistakes by Pleasant Valley that time. You've got them in third down and 2, and you just basically give them the first down with an offsides penalty.
You mentioned earlier that the bands and cheerleaders are here as part of the Spring Jam. You're going to get to see bands at halftime. You will not see live performances from today's game as Huey makes a nice long run for the Wildcats out to the 40-yard line to pick up another first down. But you will not see live performances from today from the bands, but you will see performances from the bands that were recorded back in the fall at the Calhoun County Band Expo. Big thing that we do live on TV 24 And so we're going to give you replays of the band so you can see the bands at halftime and in between games as well. First down at the 40-yard line for White Plains. High, slow toss out to the side, but a nice run by Harris. Harris picks up a lot of ground to the 37-yard line. A big first down for the Wildcats.
Harris with a 23-yard run. A really scary toss. That is not supposed to be that high. He had to go up almost like a basketball rebound to get that, but was able to pull it down. There was a nice hole there. Made a couple of moves and a nice run by the transfer from Walter Welborn, Pat Harris, getting the first down on a big run for White Plains.
First down at the 37-yard line. Bannister throws complete to Harris.
Nice throw and catch, but a great open field tackle by Reagan King of Pleasant Valley. If King misses that tackle, that is probably going to be a touchdown. There's really no one else in the territory there. Just a nice open field tackle, not only to prevent any additional yards, but he knocked him down right there after a gain of only about 4.
Second down, 6 yards to go for the Wildcats. Nice time-consuming drive here late in the second quarter. We have flags coming in just as the ball is snapped.
And this is going to be an illegal motion penalty against White Plains, so that'll set them back 5 yards. Carl, as you mentioned, they have done a good job of controlling the clock here. They've milked this thing down to 2:22. Now back at the 38-yard line, but they're doing what they wanted to do. I think Chris White, hey, let's take this thing, let's drive it to the length of the field. If we don't score, at least let's run the rest of this half out and not let Pleasant Valley touch the ball again, and that's exactly what has happened so far.
Second down, about 11 to go for the Wildcats. Bannister looking to the air, and it's going to be knocked down. Incomplete pass. Somebody got a hand on it there. I think that is number 3 for Pleasant Valley. That is Caden Turner. Caden Turner for Pleasant Valley. They gave us a roster that is not in numerical order, so it takes us a little longer to find their names, if you're wondering.
It's not in numerical order. It's not in alphabetical order. It's listed by class, and that is making it extremely difficult to pick up these guys.
Third down, Bannister, delayed handoff to Huey. Huey's going to run into trouble at about the 32-yard line. That's where he'll go down. And it'll be fourth down and about 6 yards again for the Wildcats.
So decision time here for Chris White and the White Plains staff, and it looks like they are going to take a timeout to talk about it. Timeout White Plains, 1:47 to go with a fourth down and about 6 coming up. You know, we were talking about earlier how tough it is to climb the ladder in the respective tough regions these two teams are in. You know, I'll promise you, especially for Pleasant Valley coming out of 3 Region 5, if they were in any other region in this state, especially in North Alabama, Pleasant Valley last year would have won several football games. They would not have been 2-8. They would have been a playoff team last year in some of the other regions around the state. But when you're in there with folks like Welborn and Glencoe and Piedmont and Ohatchee and Weaver and all those folks, it's a tough task to try to just get into that top 4. Same thing for White Plains. Again, there are some regions that they could have been in last year in Class 4 in the state where they could win some football games. They did not win a game last year, but when you're playing folks like Saxe and Cherokee County and Anniston and Jacksonville and Cleburne County, Hoax Bluff, who was the state semifinalist last year, it's just tough to kind of knock those teams down and try to rise up in the region standings there. So these are not bad football teams per se last year, but just in very tough regions.
And the fourth down conversion is not going to work, but we do have a flag on the play down at the 32-yard line. They may get to play this fourth down again.
If it's an offside penalty against Pleasant Valley, they'll have a 4th and 1, but let's see what the call is. Officials still talking and conversing. We don't have a call as of yet.
Officials are talking to Pleasant Valley. So this is going to go against White Plains, and Pleasant Valley is going to decline. That's what's some of the action we're seeing on the sides here.
Ball start decline, and that'll be Pleasant Valley football. So now Pleasant Valley will have the ball with about 1:41 to go until halftime. And see what they can do to try to get some more points on the board before halftime. Not only the band and cheerleaders here, but mascots as well, as the White Plains Wildcat is in the house.
Remember, coming up at halftime, we will have the F&M Scholarship competition. We have a football toss. Gerhard Mathagati's down on the sidelines. He'll tell us all about that and help us through that at halftime. Then we'll see the bands
Number 32, Colton East.
from the Band Expo back in the fall.
Personally, I think what should happen is I think Gerhard, before they start that contest, Gerhard should get over there and show them how it's done.
Show them how it's done. That's
Show
right.
off his arm and kind of give them a demonstration of how that's supposed to be done. Maybe Gerhard can do that. I mean, there's not much difference in Gerhard and Tom Brady from what I understand. So.
Second down for the Raiders. Phillips under center, comes up immediately looking to throw. Gets it off to number 3 this time.
Looks like that's Caden Turner, wide receiver. He's a 6'1", 157-pound senior to be for the Pleasant Valley Raiders. But again, I will say the White Plains defense has really grown up here. They've really improved from those first 2 series of the game where they were just not stopping Pleasant Valley at all. They have done an outstanding job. A couple of nice 3-and-outs. Got that fumble down the goal line, jarring the ball loose. Really nice job by Pleasant Valley, I should say by White Plains, especially here in quarter number 2.
About 3rd and 7 to go for Pleasant Valley. Phillips going to keep it on his own, and he will just barely make it back to the line of scrimmage. May have actually lost a little bit to bring up 4th down with only 10 seconds left to go in the half.
Nice open field tackle by Mac Young that time. 22 coming in there with a stick. So again, they tried to run a bootleg on a quarterback keeper and just no fooling whatsoever there, and a timeout going to be called by White Plains. So they will force the simulated punt and try to get the ball back and do something with 10 seconds left before halftime.
And we don't know for sure they're going to simulate the punt just yet, so we may have a
they could
4th down try here for the Raiders.
Have to be careful. You have to make sure you run all 10 seconds out, though, because if not, you could give up a really good field position and give it to White Plains. So some strategy going on here. This will help the coaches and some of their decision making when it really doesn't count here in the spring. So if they're in a similar situation in the fall, good test for strategy here. So we'll see what happens.
First of 2 games today in the 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jam. The second game coming up later on tonight will feature Saxe and Russellville. Only 7 teams in Calhoun County participate in the Spring Jam, so we have to bring in an 8th team from outside the county. Russellville got the call this year. So here we go, 4th and 7 for Pleasant Valley.
And they'll get a free 5 yards right there. It won't make a difference as far as getting the first down, but
Penalty markers before the snap. All sides penalty, White Plains.
offside on White Plains, so we'll do it again.
Move the ball up to the 39-yard line, and that'll make it 4th and about 3 yards to go.
Brings up 4th down and 2.
A little harm done there with that penalty, so it looks like Pleasant Valley is going to try to run 10 seconds off or try to get the first down.
Phillips trying to pull them off sides once more, and it doesn't work, so we have a timeout called.
I think Jonathan Nick's strategy, Carl, was to try to draw White Plains off twice and get the first down with 2 offside penalties. And it worked once, and he was trying hard to make it happen the second time, but good defense and good discipline by White Plains to stay on side. And now we get the simulated punt.
Yeah, they're going to go with the simulated punt. You're right. And we'll move the ball 35 yards downfield, and that will put it at the 26-yard line for White Plains. And they'll have 1 second. They'll have time to, because we do run the clock, the amount of time it takes for the official to move the ball 35 yards. So that leaves 1 second on the clock for White Plains, and just time for one snap for the halftime.
Well, if I was White Plains, I'd want a quicker official. I want a guy running. I want him sprinting down through there in that situation. "7 seconds it took, I guess, for that guy to make the walk. That's what they're saying. And now we're going to have some discussion about it.
They're going to talk about it, I think, and maybe what they're talking about.
So we got virtually the whole crew coming in. They're going to talk about the time that was taken off the clock.
Yeah, they're going to put
They're going to put it back on. Did you say 6 seconds? There was 8 seconds on the clock.
They're asking for 6 seconds to go back on the clock.
So apparently that punt only took 2 seconds. Well, now they've got just 1 second on the clock, so I guess.
Hand off to Pat Harris. He's going to run all the time off either way. Harris will get to about the 35-yard line, but it won't be enough. And that takes us to halftime, with Pleasant Valley leading 13-6 in the first game of day number 2 of the 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jam. White Plains and Pleasant Valley. We'll look at some bands coming up at halftime. We'll also have the F&M Bank halftime scholarship toss as well. And I think we'll go to the field with Gerhard.
All right, guys, I'm here with Coach Jonathan Nix of Pleasant Valley. Coach, first snap of the game, took it in for the house, and then since then it's been kind of a tight game. Your observations here in the first half?
Yeah, I thought our first quarter of play was good. Last 2 series on offense has not been good. Pad levels a little too high, leverage, giving up a little leverage on defense, and then costly turnover down there, in the red zone. That's something, in the second quarter I thought fatigue got to us a little bit, and so that's something we got to go in and adjust. And it's tough to get these kids in 4 quarters of shape in such a short notice there, but very proud of the kids' effort. We just got to go in there and get tougher and keep pad level leverage and get it a little better with fundamentals.
You got 24 minutes left of spring football before you shut down for the summer. What are some of the things you're looking for here in this third and fourth quarter?
I'm just seeing who's tough, who can go in here and get some halftime adjustments, and who can come out here and execute those halftime adjustments and play through a little bit of pain, play through a little bit of adversity, and punch it in with scores and then get off the field on defense.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you after the game.
Thank you.
All right, it's Coach Jonathan Nix of Pleasant Valley. We'll be back with the F&M halftime football toss. We'll explain it to you, let you know about all the fun coming up here at halftime, Calhoun County Spring Jam.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Just explain it. All right, we're back with the Calhoun County Spring Jam. We're now at the F&M Bank halftime football toss. To explain what's going on here.
We've picked students from each county school to throw for a chance for a scholarship. The student that throws the most is going to be the overall winner of the scholarship.
We did this twice yesterday. We'll do it twice again today. Let's meet our 2 contestants that will battle it out. And maybe give me.
Brett from White Plains High School.
All right, Brett.
Nick Howard from Pleasant Valley High School.
All right, so like you heard, it's a football toss. First, the one to go in the most times in 30 seconds will be in contest for the scholarship, $1,000 scholarship. Guys, I'll let you get ready, and we'll start the football toss here in just. All right, these guys will start in just a second. We'll get referees on both sides. And this 30-second toss. Now. All right, time is up. We have 3 for Nick. We have 2 for Brett. So Nick from Pleasant Valley is our winner for this week's F&M halftime toss. And so Nick from Pleasant Valley will join the 2 winners from yesterday. They'll tally up all the scores, and then the final scores will be all tallied up at the end of our 4th game, which is coming up next. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Gerhard. The F&M Bank football toss for some scholarship money there, and we'll have the finals in the next game at halftime of the next game. Let's talk about bands a little bit. The Calhoun County Band Expo is held in the fall, and we're going to let you look at the Expo performances of both of these bands today. So let's go to the bands.
Ladies and gentlemen, now taking the field, the White Plains High School Marching Band. White Plains show is titled Jammin' at the Disco and features the following musical selections: Jungle Boogie, Disco Duck, Dancing Machine, Bring Me to the Disco, Save the Last Dance, Fifth of Beethoven, and Star Wars theme. Drum major, J.C. Gutierrez. Is your band ready? The Blue Brigade, you may now take the field for exhibition.
The Calhoun County School System salutes our 2016-2017 Employees of the Month. Betty Nunnally of Weaver High School. Tamia Harrelson of Pleasant Valley Elementary School. Jackie Kelly of Welborn High School. Brandy Carpenter, Application Support Specialist. Christy Shue of Pleasant Valley High School. Kendall Poe of Ohatchee High School. Erica Thomas of Ohatchee High School. Sharon Calloway of Weaver Elementary School. And Michelle Hathaway of Sachs Elementary School.
Join us May 19th and 20th for the Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show, presented by America's First Federal Credit Union. Come experience Alabama's largest in-water boat show. Test drive pontoons from Bennington, Sun Tracker, Silver Wave, South Bay Regency, and Avalon. Fishing boats from Tracker, Nitro, Express, and Challenger. And personal watercraft from Sea-Doo. Weekend events include fireworks, live music, vendors, and giveaways, including a brand new lake-ready Sun Tracker pontoon boat. May 19th and 20th in Pell City. We'll see you on the lake.
Now taking the field, the Pleasant Valley High School Marching Band. Pleasant Valley show is titled Hollywood Blockbuster Hits, with musical selections including the following: 20th Century Fox Fanfare, Jurassic Park theme from 007, Jaws, Pirates of the Caribbean, Ghostbusters, and the theme from E.T. Drum major Genevieve Pate, is your band ready? Pleasant Valley Marching Band, you may take the field for exhibition.
I got back my Smack Talk touchdown, hole-in-one, three-point home run, hat trick, pavement pounding, record-setting goal across the finish line. Because Core didn't give up, I didn't give up. And I certainly didn't give in. I'm going to get back to doing what I love. I'm going to get back to winning.
When it comes to great tasting barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Dad's Barbecue is slow hickory cooked to perfection, and Dad's menu includes a wide selection of popular items such as our smoked chicken sandwich, ribs, salads, and the best chicken fingers in town. And Dad's offers fresh homemade hamburgers and hand-dipped ice cream shakes. Dad's utilizes the latest technology to ensure that your orders are always accurate and hot out of the kitchen. Family owned and operated since 1985, Dad's Barbecue, with 2 locations in Anniston to serve you.
We were looking to sell our starter home and move into our dream home. After looking at all the options, we chose to work with ERA King. ERA means easy, responsive, and attention to detail. ERA King made the entire process of buying and selling a house easy. From helping us decide on a listing price to navigating the final closing, our agent worked with us every step of the way. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
Huge hailstorm equals huge savings at Buster Miles Ford in Heflin. Come experience a stress-free buying process during our hail sale and save thousands. Over 300 vehicles must go. The damage so small on some and saving so big on others. We have brought the professionals in to fix the cars right. Work has begun for our loss and your gain. Come take advantage of these savings, hopefully never to be seen again. Buster Miles Ford in Heflin, off I-20, exit 199. The difference worth driving since 1947.
Welcome back to the 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jam as we get ready to begin the third quarter action between White Plains and Pleasant Valley here in the first game of tonight's matchups. We'll have Sachs and Russellville coming up at roughly 7:30 this evening following this game. But right now, this is the game on tap. We'll play one more quarter with the starters and the varsity. The fourth quarter will be played with junior varsity B team guys, younger guys that don't normally get to see any action on the field and in a situation like this.
I think hearing Jonathan Hicks talking with Gerhard right before halftime, I think he's really pleased with how his team performed in the first half. He talked about how good the effort was. And I think when we talk with Chris White after the game, head coach at White Plains, I think we're going to see that he's pretty pleased with some things as well. I think there's no doubt about it from what I have seen, watching both of these teams play last season a couple of times. These are better football teams than they were last year. Now, how much better and how does that translate to, because there's some other teams that will be in their regions that are going to be improved as well and on their schedule. Does that translate into more victories? I don't know, but I think these are better football teams now than what we saw at this point last year. I think they are much improved teams, and that's all you can ask for is what you hope for as a coach, to be better and improve in the offseason. I think both teams have taken some steps forward in that direction.
Yeah, absolutely. As we get ready to start the third quarter, we'll remind you that we do not have a live kicking game during these spring games, so we'll be putting the ball on the 35-yard line, and we know Pleasant Valley had the ball first to open the game, so White Plains should start off on offense here. They're trying to decide which end of the field they want to defend, which end they want to be on offense on. And they're going to start things off on the Fieldhouse end of the field here at Burgess Snow Stadium. Burgess Snow Field at JSU Stadium and Jacksonville State University. Great opportunity. John, we always talk about this. These guys, these high school kids getting an opportunity to play in this huge stadium, and it may not look like, if you see the stands, that there's a big crowd here, but if you put either of these crowds in the White Plains or the Pleasant Valley Stadium, you got a good crowd of football fans. Normally, the stadium here holds 25,000 people, so it just looks empty. It's not empty, but it looks empty.
Big, good crowds here from both Pleasant Valley and White Plains.
White Plains starts with a handoff. It's going to gain about 5 yards all the way up to the 40-yard line. And we'll see who the carrier on that is, and that's going to be Charlie Huey.
Huey's had a good game. Seen him with a couple of runs, couple of pass receptions as well. Nice 5-yard pickup on first down for the White Plains Wildcats. So White Plains not only saw their defense improve as we moved through that first half, I think their offense got a little bit untracked as well. And see what they can do here in quarter number 3.
Ryan Bannister at quarterback. He'll go under center with 2 guys in the backfield behind him. Handoff goes to Huey again. Huey will be hit right at the line but he will gain out to the 43-yard line, or near the 43-yard line, for almost 3-yard gain. Bring up third down.
Do a good job that time. Hit, as you said, at the line of scrimmage, but then able to fall forward and keep those legs moving and pick up about another 2.5, almost 3 yards.
Play picks up 3 to the 40.
Third down, 2.5 to go for the Wildcats. Trailing 13-6. That handoff goes to Pat Harris. And Harris
right tackle to number 19, Pat Harris.
Will get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more, and that brings up fourth down, 4th and 2.5. Looks like White Plains is going to go for it in this situation.
Did look like that Chris White, head coach of the Wildcats, actually came over to Bannister and gave him a play. So at their own 43-yard line, 4th down and about 2, here come the Wildcats.
And the Wildcats, you're going to.
Well, the way that's supposed to work is the other team's supposed to jump offside. You're trying to draw them off to get the easy first down. You're supposed to be the ones to stay on, but I think that's going to be obviously a false start. Now, they're going to talk about this. I didn't see anybody from Pleasant Valley get into the neutral zone. I saw 2 players in white that jumped forward.
Right.
But we're not at field level, and the officials were right on top of it, so they're having a discussion out there. And we'll see what the call is. And they're actually going to say an encroachment on Pleasant Valley. They're going to say Pleasant Valley jumped into the neutral zone.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Okay, so this was a dead ball foul. Actually, the penalty was on White Plains for jumping off sides. I was shocked because I did not see anybody from Pleasant Valley.
Let's take a look at this again and see.
So this is a dead ball foul apparently after the play.
The football will go to the Pleasant Valley.
I'm not sure.
What exactly.
I saw some finger pointing going on, but apparently something must have been said that obviously we couldn't hear that was the unsportsmanlike conduct.
So first down for White Plains. The handoff to James Elrod this time. Elrod will gain to the 37-yard line before being pushed backwards a little bit. That'll be second down and about 5 yards to go.
Tough run by Elrod. Trying to spin away from a couple of tacklers, and he took a couple of big licks there, but just kept on moving and able to pick up about 6 yards on the play.
The ball at the 37.
Second down for the Wildcats. 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jam action live on TV24 and streaming at tv24.tv or on the live stream app. Bannister looks to throw. Leads Elrod just right. Elrod going to be tripped up from behind. He'll go down at about the 27-yard line. That'll be a first down for White Plains.
Nicely executed play from Bannister to Elrod. Really good job on the play action. Nice pass out of the flat. Nice one-handed catch by Elrod. And then able to get the first down. So a good-looking play. Nice execution that time by White Plains.
Ball marked at the 26-yard line. It's first down for the Wildcats at the 26.
This might be a play here to look for Pat Harris.
And the handoff goes to Huey, who will go right up the middle. He'll get inside the 25-yard line. He'll put him down at close to the 23.
Harris has the
22
blocker that time. But again, a nice-looking drive going by White Plains. We've had about 3 different possessions here by the Wildcats where they have possessed and run the clock a lot. And that was one of the things that Jonathan Nix talked with Gerhard Mathangani about at halftime. He thought his team was not in great shape, and he was concerned about that heading into the third and fourth quarter with the heat and humidity that's out here this afternoon.
Bannister, quick toss to Elrod. Elrod has some running room inside the 10-yard line. Eventually dragged down at about the 3.
We only saw Elrod a couple of times in the first half, but he has been a force here. Taking the simple toss sweep from Bannister. Good blocking downfield. Able to elude one tackler, drags a Pleasant Valley defender all the way down inside the 5-yard line. And here comes White Plains trying to either tie this game up or maybe even take the lead with a 2-point conversion.
First and goal from the 4-yard line. Bannister is under center. Hands off to the first guy through, twisting and turning. He'll gain a couple to about the 2-yard line.
Nothing fancy, just, again, White Plains trying to play a little power football there. Able to get a couple of yards down to the 2.
After Pleasant Valley opened this game with 2 very quick scores, we've settled into a pretty well evenly matched up game.
It has been very even. You take away really just a couple of big explosive plays on those first 2 possessions by Pleasant Valley, and this has been pretty much dominated by White Plains since that point.
Handoff goes to Huey. Still on his feet. Is he going to fall across the line? They'll say no and mark him at about the 1-yard line. So 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line for the Wildcats of White Plains.
So the last time we were in this situation, it was Pleasant Valley at the goal line trying to score. They fumbled the ball. White Plains recovered. Let's see what happens here on a big 3rd and goal now with the shoe on the other foot for White Plains.
Bannister going to keep it himself and push it right across the line for a touchdown for the Wildcats.
Now, I like the design of the play. They lined up in really a power I formation. And then just ran the courts to draw some of the defenders, thinking about the running backs, and instead they just ran the quarterback sneak up the middle. That's what I like. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and you got a big, sizable quarterback, and just let him take the ball and put his head down and go into the end zone for a touchdown. And we are going to see, it looks like, a 2-point conversion attempt here by White Plains, which will send this into a lead if White Plains can have it. So a 2-point play here, which would give White Plains the lead after being down 13-0 very early in this game.
Three backs in the backfield for Bannister. I think that give was to Huey, and he's going nowhere. So the 2-point conversion is no good. So our score 13-12, Pleasant Valley with a lead over White Plains. We'll be back.
There's a killer on the loose in Alabama. This won't help you. This won't help you either. Even this won't help you. But this will. Breast cancer affects 1 in 8 women, and the only thing that can catch this killer is early detection with an annual high-quality mammogram. Advanced Imaging in Oxford and Gadsden was the first facility in Alabama to offer 3D digital mammography. Find out more online at alliesinthefight.com. Advanced Imaging, better technology for better health care.
Don't just dream it. Call Family Savings Credit Union. Right now, get something you want for as low as 2.24% APR. You can even apply online or by phone. Family Savings Credit Union, where your money grows with you and your family.
Back to the Calhoun County Spring Jam as you see some folks sitting up on top of Chimney Peak overlooking the city of Jacksonville and the campus. Bird's eye view of the games today, John.
Those people right there, Carl, they have no idea whatsoever that they are on television, that they are being streamed around the world right now. They think they're by themselves up on some remote mountain in northeast Alabama, and instead they are on a big screen. They're on live television. They're being streamed all around the world right now.
Yeah, absolutely. As we come back to action in the third quarter here, Pleasant Valley back on offense. Remember, no kickoffs in the spring games. We're just putting the ball on the 35-yard line for the offense to start with. We'll have a slight gain on the play there to bring up second down, and a little more than 8 yards to go for White Plains.
Pleasant
Valley, rather.
Pleasant Valley's offense is, they've had some moments here with a few big plays, but really since those first 2 possessions of the game, the White Plains defense has risen to the occasion. And really now they're down, they're still ahead 13-12, but they need to get some offense going.
Brody Phillips under center, handing off. Play will gain close to the 40-yard line. And number 6, Ethan Borders, is the guy with the ball there.
We're going to have a holding call. I didn't see the flag. They threw the flag, and then they apparently picked it up very quickly, because that was a very quick holding call whistled against Pleasant Valley. So the woes for the Pleasant Valley offense sort of continuing here in quarter number 3.
We'll back the ball up to the 30-yard line. That'll make it 2nd down and 15 for the Raiders.
We talked about the ball control of White Plains. Carl, they held that ball, that opening possession of the 3rd quarter, for almost half the quarter.
Phillips with a handoff, a quick little double handoff there for the Raiders. And that will be Colton East who gets the ball.
Give the credit to Austin Farley, 42, the linebacker for White Plains. There was a big hole there, and it looked like that was going to be a big play for Pleasant Valley, but instead that hole was closed quickly by Austin Farley, and that brings us to the mid-quarter heat timeout.
We'll take the break. Be back in just a moment.
Sure, it seems like there are tons of decisions to be made as you start down your college path. The good news is Gadsden State can help. Online, on the phone, or in person at the new One Stop Center in Gadsden. How much can I save? What career is perfect for me? Help with everything from admissions to financial aid. And when all the answers point towards saving money close to home, you'll see why so many decide to make their first stop, Gadsden State.
Hi, my name is Reverend Jeffrey C. Williams, the owner and licensed funeral director of Anderson Funeral Services. At Anderson Funeral Services, we are compassionate and caring individuals committed to providing quality and professional service at affordable prices. We are where service begins and never ends, and love is what love does.
Aniston Funeral Services offers affordable services to meet any need for all families. Aniston Funeral Services, 630 South Wilmer Avenue, where service begins and never ends.
Nice view of Burgess Snowfield at JSU Stadium at Jacksonville State University as we come back to action in the 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jam. Pleasant Valley on offense in 3rd quarter action here, JSU. And Phillips attempts the pass, nowhere near the intended receiver, who is number 40. Again, take a minute to scan through all of these numbers, and there we go, Dakota Barr, number 40.
Good play by Jake Spivey of White Plains, bringing a lot of pressure, got his hands up, obstructed the view of the quarterback, and made him throw it away. And now we'll have, that's in essence, that's another fine defensive stand by White Plains. And after keeping the ball for about 6 minutes of this 3rd quarter, after, in essence, a 3 and out, they are going to get the ball back again. So one of the concerns that Jonathan Nix at Pleasant Valley had was his team kind of getting winded here in this 3rd quarter. Didn't feel like his team was in really good shape, and boy, I'll tell you, it is very humid out there. We've had a few clouds that have come in, and the sun is starting to set, so it's not as bad as it was. We're playing in the shadows here at JSU Stadium, but the humidity, if anything, once the sun sets, that humidity is going to go up even more.
First down for White Plains at their own 32-yard line. Just over 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Remember, varsity action will continue here in the 3rd quarter. Then we'll bring in junior varsity, younger players, B-team players, that kind of thing, as Bannister keeps it for himself. He'll gain about 5 yards to the 37-yard line.
And we already saw the Sachs cheerleaders arriving. The Sachs football team has arrived, and I see some Russellville fans. Looks like they are parked outside, maybe doing a little tailgating here at JSU Stadium.
Taking a minute to get the Pleasant Valley defense situated. Here's Bannister under center. Handoff goes to Elrod. Elrod will gain to the 40-yard line.
Number 3, Elrod.
It'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Wildcats.
Right Now Pleasant Valley playing a 6-man front. Basically playing a 6-2 defense. They've got 8 guys in the box. It's really daring White Plains to throw the football, but White Plains still in a makeable 3rd too. Despite Pleasant Valley with 8 guys in the box, White Plains still with some yards.
Again, 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats. Single wide out to the near side. Man goes in motion. Bannister going to keep it himself, and he is going to be caught behind the line of scrimmage. That will be a 2-yard loss on the play, back to the 38-yard line to bring up 4th down and 4. And we'll see what the Wildcats choose to do in this situation.
Alex Parrish, the middle linebacker. Notice that time they had all of their linebackers were probably within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. They had 6 defensive linemen. The 2 linebackers were even cheating up. They were selling out totally for the run. And again, they got 8 guys in the box. They've got 8 guys within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage this time, does Pleasant Valley. Look at how they're cheating up those linebackers.
Bannister looking to throw, and the pass is going to be complete. Is it enough for the 1st down? It goes out to the 43-yard line for Pat Harris. And yeah, it's enough for a 1st down.
Pleasant Valley really fortunate at that time. They gave up the 1st down, but because they has cheated everyone up and was selling out for the run, if that had been a more accurate throw, Harris would have been gone to the end zone. There was no one out there. If that could have been an accurate throw, he would have gone to the house.
Handoff goes to Harris. They're going to mark him down at the 46-yard line. He was trying his best to keep his balance and keep his knees off the ground, but they're going to mark him there at the 46.
White Plains trailing 13-12. Only 2:45 left in the varsity end of this. So we'll see if the Wildcats here try to pick up the pace. They're 54 yards away from possibly winning the varsity portion of this game.
Shotgun formation for Bannister. Elrod in motion. Bannister looks to throw. Throws into some traffic.
White Plains pass is intercepted.
There's the guy that I've been talking about the entire game. Pound for pound, as good of a football player as there is in East Alabama. We see him at running back, and look at this interception by Ethan Borders. Just threw it right to him. He just popped up off the ground. Not the biggest guy on the field, but he may have made the biggest play. That might save, in the varsity portion of things anyway, a Pleasant Valley victory with that big interception right there.
Pleasant Valley will take over at their own 49-yard line. Number 12 there, Brody Phillips. Upcoming sophomore at quarterback.
Pleasant Valley would love to just run some clock and get a couple of 1st downs here.
Phillips with the handoff to Ethan Borders. Borders will gain 2 to the other 49-yard line. 2nd down and 8 for the Raiders.
Approaching the 2-minute mark. Reminder coming up after this game, a game that's been 49 years in the making. Saxon-Russellville, a rematch of the 1968 state championship game, which was one of the most legendary games played in this county's history, when Russellville beat Sax 51-13. A game that a lot of folks in Sax still talk about to this day.
Another handoff for Pleasant Valley going nowhere. Ethan Borders wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage and pushed away back, so his momentum will be counted.
So Pleasant Valley now just have not been able to generate any offense since really the 2nd quarter. Desperately needing a 1st down now, trying to hang on and win the varsity portion of this as we count toward the 1-minute mark, but it's a 3rd down and 8 coming up now at the White Plains 49.
So again, Phillips under center. Man goes into motion, and he'll be caught behind the line of scrimmage. That play going nowhere for Reagan King.
Excellent penetration that time by White Plains. So the Wildcats will get the ball back one last time in the varsity portion of this.
That play loses all the way back to the 44-yard line. That'll make it 4th and 15 for the Raiders.
Won't be much time left. 31 seconds. They have not started the 25 play clock yet, so Now they stop it at 30 seconds to go. And now the clock begins again. And they really don't have to snap the football.
Pleasant Valley holding on. Maybe hoping somebody's going to jump off sides. 5 seconds now on the play clock. So it's going to be close. They're going to call the, they're not going to call the timeout, and they're going to let time just wind out in the third quarter.
So that's the end of the varsity portion. I knew when they started the play clock, it was exactly the amount of time that was on the game clock, and they did not have to take another snap, and Pleasant Valley did not. And so Pleasant Valley will win the varsity portion of this by a single point, 13-12 over White Plains.
Huge hailstorm equals huge savings at Buster Moss Ford in Heflin. Come experience a stress-free buying process during our hail sale and save thousands. Over 300 vehicles must go. The damage so small on some and saving so big on others. We have brought the professionals in to fix the cars right. Work has begun for our loss and your gain. Come take advantage of these savings, hopefully never to be seen again. Buster Miles Ford in Heflin off I-20, exit 199. The difference worth driving since 1947.
I was finally ready to buy my first home after renting for the last several years. As I started my search, I got overwhelmed by how many websites and confusing listings there are. That's when I found the experts at ERA King. To me, ERA means expertise, reliability, and activity. I depended on them to find a home in my budget, and they didn't stop working until the keys were in my hands. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
Back to Burgess Snow Field at JSU Stadium on the campus of Jacksonville State University, the 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jam. We are now starting fourth quarter action, so we will be adjusting new names, new faces, new guys out there on the field as we bring in for the fourth quarter the junior varsities, younger guys, B-team guys, however you want to call that, and give these guys a shot at playing a quarter here in the spring game as well.
And I think that the officials here probably some discussion going on here before we start this quarter, maybe talking with some of these new players about maybe some of the rules and so forth. I think they're just trying to determine at this point in time where they're going to put the ball. Are they going to play this as a continuation of the third quarter, or are they going to start over anew? And I think what they're doing is a simulated punt here.
They're simulating the punt.
Fourth down for Pleasant Valley. So I think that's what they were trying to decide is this going to be a continuation, even though it's really a different game? And that's exactly what they're going to do. So the score will stay the same, and they'll do the simulated punt. It will be White Plains football at their own 20. And now another stoppage in place. The officials are going to talk again. We've had a lot of conferences in this game trying to make sure everything's right.
Deciding exactly where they want to put the ball. If they did not flip the field.
Yeah, I think that's what one of the officials is saying is
they moved the ball to flip the field, but the players did not flip the field.
Yeah, they should be.
So they should be going the other way.
Should be on the 20-yard line on the other end. So I think we're going to see a walk down to the other end.
Again, as we always mention, these spring games are practice for the officials as well.
And that is exactly what we're going to see. I think one of the officials came in and he made the right call. We got one that's going to come over and talk with Jonathan Nix about it. And so this has taken a while to get this quarter underway here. This may be the longest gap I've seen in between quarters before. So they're going to go all the way down to the other end and put it on the 20-yard line. First, the discussion was, are they going to punt the ball? We're going to continue the play like it was just from third to fourth quarter. We're going to start a whole new quarter over again, or a new half. And then the question was, where should the ball be placed? And then the next question was which end of the field. So now I think we've got it, Carl, totally straightened out.
I think we do. And White Plains now, as the sun comes out from behind a cloud, is going to be looking right directly into the setting sun over the top of the JSU Fieldhouse as they try to move the ball here. We have a new quarterback in play, number 14, Carson Wright. He's an upcoming freshman. As we put some of the younger guys in, as we mentioned earlier.
So a lot of these guys, when we say they're a 9th grader, really they're still in the 8th grade officially for another week or so.
Yeah.
So these guys are still probably 14 years old that we're seeing out here playing varsity football.
Yeah, we have looks like Braxton Dobson taking the snap there, number 24.
He hands it off to Jaden Harris. So Jaden Harris comes to the far sidelines, dragged down. He's an upcoming sophomore running back for the White Plains Wildcats. This quarter will be played, not a running clock as we understand. They'll play this just as a regular quarter. The only difference will be both teams will be playing strictly JV and B team players, no starters.
And it looks like our quarterback is going to be number 34. Yeah, Parker Thornton listed as a quarterback wearing number 34. That was not 24 as earlier, but number 34, Parker Thornton, another upcoming, has him listed as an 8th grader. So he may be a 7th grader, going to be an 8th grader.
I guess so, yeah. Carson Wright on the carry again that time for White Plains, and another simulated punt here on 4th down by the Wildcats.
So we'll see some of the younger Pleasant Valley guys on offense now as they bring the ball to the Pleasant Valley near the 38-yard line for Pleasant Valley.
Carl, we were already having discussions here in the press box about plans for Pigskin Roundup. We're only about 3 months away from that, believe it or not. I know we've got a long summer ahead of us, but before you know it, it will be late August, and we will be beginning, I believe this is year 14 of the Pigskin Roundup. Our Pigskin magazine will be out that same week there in the latter part of August. We'll have that available for you absolutely free, full color magazine. We'll give you all the information you need to know on teams not only in Calhoun County but all of East Alabama. So we're not sitting at the beach during the summer. We are working high school football, getting ready for the season in August.
That is for sure. Working hard all year round to make high school football the priority for TV 24 and the Pigskin Roundup crew. Get all the new numbers sorted out. Again, Pleasant Valley gave us a roster that is not in numerical order. And I think we may have Dustin Bonner quarterbacking on the carry there. And he's going to stay down after his only play.
That was a broken play, it looked like, as it looked like the quarterback and the running back had some miscommunication there. So after only one play, Bonner is down. See what happened here. He turned around. Miscommunication was him running back, and so at that point in time, you kind of call fire, and you just try to get what you can get. Lost some yards there, a couple of yards, and then there were about 4 white jerseys that fell on him, and he's still down back at the 36-yard line. Jonathan Nixon, some of the coaching staff coming out to check on that young man.
Bonner listed as a senior for the Raiders. And they'll send all the players to the sidelines while they evaluate Bonner. We'll take a break and be back in just a moment with more fourth quarter action between the White Plains Wildcats and the Pleasant Valley Raiders.
Pleasant Valley High School offers a wide range of academic opportunities for our students to excel.
Here at Pleasant Valley High School, we like to focus on success for all, which is our Calhoun County motto. And we'd like to ensure that every student is well equipped and better prepared for life after high school, whether it be going into the military, whether it be going into the workforce, or whether it be going into post-secondary education. We'll do whatever it takes to help all of our students succeed.
Pleasant Valley also has many clubs with different goals for our students to participate in.
FCCLA involves students in various events such as blood drives,
nursing home visits, sports management trips, luncheons, and many other events throughout the year.
The National Beta Club is an honorary society that focuses on service.
Pleasant Valley has over 30 athletic programs for our students to participate in, with much more to offer on the way.
Excited about our new weight room that's coming up. It should be here by August the 1st. This will house all our male and female athletes. What a great time to be a Pleasant Valley Raider.
Yeah, there's Bonner on the sidelines there, having looks like an ankle tended to a little bit, or checking right below his knee as well, as Pleasant Valley comes back out after the injury break.
So Pleasant Valley looks like it's going to come out now with Brandon May at quarterback, and he is a rising 8th grader, and will have a penalty, it looks like, right off the bat. But May is listed at 5'7", 130 pounds, and is a rising 8th grader, which means he's in the 7th right now. And I'm not sure he thought he was going to get any work tonight, and now he's going to lead the team for a whole quarter, it looks like, because we'll have an offside penalty whistle, it looks like, against White Plains.
Is actually going to be number 20.
They had 2 out there. Now it looks like they've changed again.
Once again, penalty markers.
And I don't see a number 20 on our roster.
And now we got another penalty against White Plains. So another 5 yards for Pleasant Valley.
There's 20. I found him. It is Jake Mosley.
Jake
Mosley. There we go.
5'11", 140 pound, listed as a running back.
Ball ends up on the ground. It'll be 3rd down for Pleasant Valley.
Pleasant Valley maintains possession.
Third and about 9 to go. Malsey. Double handoff there, and you got that number 2, Braden May. He's going to get the carry.
May in at running back. And now it's 4th down. Probably we'll see another simulated punt hit coming here from Pleasant Valley.
They're running in a play.
So 4th down and about 6 here, and it looks like Pleasant Valley is going to go for it at their own 43.
And another quarterback in, number 18, under center. Yeah, they're trying to draw White Plains off, but they're going to end up calling a timeout.
Timeout, Pleasant Valley.
So timeout PV, and we will get the simulated punt after this.
We'll take the break with them and be back in just a moment.
For great food and great service and a great atmosphere, come and see us at Top of the River in Anniston. At Top of the River, all of our products are prepared fresh daily with our own special recipes, including our farm-raised, grain-fed catfish. Large groups and private groups from 50 to 250 are welcome, and reservations are accepted 7 days a week. And ask about our full on-site catering. Family owned and operated since 1982 and always kid-friendly. Top of the River in Anniston.
The moment rain hits the ground, it begins a journey through your neighborhood. Along the way, this stormwater encounters a lot of harmful stuff, including excess fertilizer, yard clippings, motor oil, even pet waste. Water then carries these pollutants into the storm drain and directly into the nearest river, lake, or stream, polluting our waterways. Visit cleanwatercampaign.com for more. Help be a solution to water pollution.
4th down for the Pleasant Valley Raiders as we come back to action at Burgess Snowfield, JSU Stadium. And they're going to do the simulated punt. So we come back just in time to move the ball 35 yards downfield. Remember, it is a spring game, so the kicking game is not live. So we'll simulate the punt. That'll move the ball to the 22-yard line, and White Plains will have another opportunity on offense with 7:37 remaining in the fourth quarter and in the game here before we move on to the next game, which will be Sacs and Russellville.
Chase Robinson and Gerhard Mathangani will be along to bring you the action in that game. I'll be on the sidelines for that one. And that should be a great game. Sacs got a lot of returnees coming back, very talented team. And Russellville, traditionally one of the powerhouse teams in all of 5A football. Coming out of Northwest Alabama, they're making about a 3 to 4 hour trip to be here. I know the Sacs band is here. I'm not sure we're going to get the Russellville band traveling that far for a spring game. Probably not, but I know Russellville very excited to be coming across to East Alabama. Most of those folks have probably, I'm going to assume, not been to Jacksonville State before. And so it should be a new experience for them to play here at Burgess Snowfield and JSU Stadium. So we should have a competitive game coming up tonight. Interesting matchup between Sacs and Russellville at 7 o'clock tonight.
Second down and 5 for White Plains. Again, we're looking at some of the younger guys for both of these teams here in the fourth quarter. The toss goes back to number 18. That's Jaden Harris. And Harris has some running room. He's going to get across midfield. He marked down at the 48-yard line to pick up a Wildcat first down.
30-yard run for Harris. Simple toss sweep. Gets to the corner, dodges one tackle, and then it was off to the races. Another nice cut to the inside. 2 cuts to the inside, and then drags a player with him and falls forward to the 48-yard line. Put that all together. That's a 30-yard run for Mr. Harris.
And we have an injured Pleasant Valley. Injured. Pleasant Valley or White Plains? That's a Pleasant Valley player.
Pleasant Valley player.
Out there close to the 50-yard line. The training staff will come out and check him out.
So that is the second player that we have had in this quarter.
That is number 81 who is injured there.
Jaden Cheatwood, rising sophomore defensive back for Pleasant Valley.
The play resulted in a first down for the Wildcats, so they'll have the ball at the 48-yard line when we come back.
Last night between games they gave 30 minutes on the clock, and the game is scheduled to start at 7 with 6:43 at the pace that this game is crawling. We're looking probably, I think last night we were very close to 7:30 and starting. We may be very close to that
7:30 is actually the scheduled time. So we'll figure out what they're doing when they put the time on the clock.
Our original understanding was that there would be 10 minutes between the games for warm-up, but last night they put 30 on after the Ohatchee and Weaver game last night. So if they do that again, we will be after 7 o'clock with the kickoff time.
Thornton with the carry for White Plains. That's Parker Thornton. He'll get to the 39-yard line, almost to the 38-yard line. But he will be shy of the first down. He'll gain 9 yards on that play.
Second down and less than a yard to go now for White Plains. Pretty good looking drive by the young guys here for the Wildcats.
Thornton with the handoff to Harris. Harris runs into some trouble, but gets a little help, and he's going to pick up a first down at the 37-yard line.
Of course, as we mentioned yesterday, the host school for this is Sacs this year, kind of rotating around. They're the ones that are taking care of all the game management and logistics, and so to speak. And so they were the ones kind of being the host. They had the opportunity to go out and schedule a game with someone from outside the county, and they stepped to the plate. And Jody Whaley, the principal, and Jonathan Miller, the head football coach, able to pull a marquee team in the Russellville Golden Tigers.
When it comes to great tasting barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Dad's Barbecue is slow hickory cooked to perfection, and Dad's menu includes a wide selection of popular items such as our smoked chicken sandwich, ribs, salads, and the best chicken fingers in town. And Dad's offers fresh homemade hamburgers and hand-dipped ice cream shakes. Dad's utilizes the latest technology to ensure that your orders are always accurate and hot out of the kitchen. Family owned and operated since 1985, Dad's Barbecue, with 2 locations in Anniston to serve you.
Hi, this is Kevin Riggin with the all-new Tameron Honda in Gadsden. We're excited to be one of the newest and fastest growing Honda dealers in Central Alabama. And with every new Tameron Honda, you get a 250,000-mile powertrain guarantee. I've personally been serving Central Alabama for over 25 years with all your Honda needs. Come see me today or check out our website at TameronHondaGadsden.com. Tameron Honda in Gadsden, where you're going to love the way you're treated.
The Sacs Wildcats getting ready for their game. That's coming up immediately following this game. They'll be playing against Russellville as the final game of the 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jam. But it's not the final game of football this weekend because we have the continuation of the TV24 Gridiron Challenge taking place here all day tomorrow with another large group of teams. We have a fumble on the play here. We'll see who recovers the ball. That was Ethan Bozarth on the carry. It looks like a Raider is going to come up with the football at the 29-yard line.
Bozarth trying to get some extra yards, and in doing so, lost. Look at there, carrying the ball a little bit loosely, trying to get those extra yards, and pow, right there. Nice jar for the Pleasant Valley defender. Ball pops out. Blue jerseys there to jump on it. Pleasant Valley football. White Plains had a good drive going there, but it goes right back over to the Raiders.
Again, Dustin Bonner is back out, and the quarterback spot. That flag's coming in as the ball is snapped. The handoff. Gain up to about the 33-yard line, but we'll probably see that one come back.
It's Braden May that time. On the run for Pleasant Valley.
There is a flag on the play.
I think that's going to be an illegal shift, something like that. That moves the ball back to the 24-yard line and makes it 1st and 15 for the Raiders. Bonner under center, man goes into motion, the handoff goes to him. Again, that's number 2, Braden May on the carry.
Stood up at the line of scrimmage there. One of the things that young man will learn, just to lower that shoulder and get that head down. Standing up, you're going to take a lot of hard shots. Got to lower that head and lower your body down there to, one, to get some extra yards, and 2, to protect your body a little bit.
2nd down and 12 from the 27-yard line for the Raiders. 5 minutes remaining in the game.
If you're just tuning in, these are the JV and B team players for both Pleasant Valley and White Plains. The varsity played the first 3 quarters. By agreement, they're going to play the younger guys in the 4th quarter.
Bonner with the handoff again, this time to
Pleasant Valley, number 5, Reed Fulmer.
Number 5.
Fulmer's carry to the 35.
That would be Reed Fulmer.
5 yards to go, it's 3rd down.
Clock continues to move along here. Less than 4.5 to go here in the 4th. Gerhard Mathangani will be catching up with White Plains coach Chris White, and I think he may also catch up again with Pleasant Valley coach Jonathan Nix.
We're going to have a penalty called against the Raiders. Maybe a delay of game.
Pleasant Valley.
That backs the ball up to the 30-yard line and makes it 3rd down and 9 to go for Pleasant Valley. Again, Bonner with the handoff. He'll be caught behind the line of scrimmage. Ball pops loose, but the official says he is down at the 29-yard line. About a 1.5 yard loss on the play that time.
A lot of excitement as the ball bounded loose, but good call by the officials. The ball was already, he was already down before the ball came out. Good call by the officials right on top of it, and clock will continue to move as we approach the 3.5 minute mark.
That'll be 4th down and just more than 10 to go, so we're going to simulate this 35-yard punt here.
On 4th down, Pleasant Valley will punt.
We'll swap up offense and defense again with just over 3 minutes to go in the game. Between games, you probably will have an opportunity to see the Pleasant Valley and White Plains band performances again from the Band Expo.
White Plains has it 1st and 10 from the 36.
And coming up at halftime of the next game, we'll have our contest that we've been having during the Calhoun County Spring Jam last night and earlier today, where we will have a student from both high schools. I guess we'll have a student from Russellville and a student from Saxe.
I think it will be the finals somehow of what they did last night and earlier today to see who wins that scholarship from F&M Bank. Getting the chains in place. The ball's on the 36-yard line for the Wildcats. Thornton with the toss. Jaden Harris on the carry. Actually a loss back to the 34-yard line. The play loses 2 yards on the play.
Tackle at the 34-yard line.
Sun back out in full force here.
Well, Russellville's band apparently did make the trip, and they brought them all in an 18-wheeler, just parked outside the stadium there.
Well, I'm telling you, it's not surprising. It is a little bit surprising. It's not shocking, though, that Russellville would bring their band. This is a top flight. If you go back and look at the history of high school football in the state of Alabama, this is one of the top flight football programs we've seen, and I'm not sure that may actually be their football truck.
Well, we're seeing some of the band members come in.
I think this is the Sax band coming in right here. I think that's actually their football truck.
An 18-wheeler full of footballs.
Well, college teams have an 18-wheeler. If you watch Alabama and Auburn, if you ever go to their road games, you'll see the big 18-wheelers. And I think that's the Russellville, because the football team is not here yet. We have not seen the Russellville football team. And I think that is their football equipment truck. That is, I saw a band coming in, but then I see Gene English is the band director at Saxe. Saw him out there. So this is the Saxe band that's coming to the stadium right now. And that looks like the Russellville Golden Tiger equipment truck, an 18-wheeler. So you got a big-time football program coming in when you got that. This is a storied tradition. You go back over and take a look at high school football in this state in any classification over the last 40 or 50 years, and Russellville is just one of those name brands in high school football in this state.
So we come back to action on the field following the action of these young guys here, seeing White Plains moving the ball fairly well, but we're having flags coming in at the last, toward the end of the play at the 30-yard line. John, I'll go ahead and ask the obvious question that people are sitting watching the game. Why in the world does a high school football team need an 18-wheeler truck full of equipment? What do they have in an 18-wheeler truck for a high school football game?
One of the things that I don't know what the numbers are for Russellville, but I'm going to be surprised if Russellville is not dressing in the neighborhood of probably 70 to 80 players, maybe more than that. So every bit of the equipment for those guys is there. They also are probably going to have a lot of teams now, the higher classification teams, will actually have folding tables and chairs they bring out for the offense and for the defense. They'll have things that they put out on the sideline there for special teams. That is the Russellville football team that's coming in. And apparently they've been over to the truck to get their equipment off. And then you will also see a lot of these teams have video equipment that they'll put on there. They will have a lot of coaching equipment as far as audio headsets, communication devices, and things like that they have on there. They will, it's not surprising even to see a team that might bring fans with them. I'm talking about the fans that blow.
Cooler fans.
So they could have any and all that, and you start adding up the things that a big-time football program would have like that, and you could probably come pretty close to filling up an 18-wheeler.
Bozarth on the carry again for White Plains. This is going to go all the way down to the 17-yard line to pick up another first down. Bozarth getting several calls on this series. Down to almost a minute to go.
So many great teams and so many great players and so many great coaches that have come through Russellville over the years and over the decades. It's just a tremendously tradition-rich football program with a nice facility. I mean, they have the video screen scoreboard. I think they have turf up there. They have a lot of the amenities we're seeing here at Jack State. They have at their high school stadium up in Russellville.
Thornton is going to keep it himself. He'll go to the 15-yard line. 3-yard gain on the play to bring up second down for White Plains. 41 seconds to go. Called by White Plains.
We see that.
We're going to break. We'll take it. Be back in a moment.
The 2017 college football season kicks off in Montgomery. The Guardian Credit Union FCS kickoff will open the college football season on Saturday, August 26th at 5 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. Don't miss two of the nation's top-ranked FCS teams, the Jacksonville State University Gamecocks and the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga Mocs at historic Crampton Bowl. Visit GuardianKickoffClassic.com for the FanFest schedule of events and game information.
You will take more than 672 million breaths throughout your lifetime. Yet life is not measured by the number of breaths you take, but by the moments that take your breath away. JSU is proud to offer Northeast Alabama's only Bachelor of Science in Respiratory Therapy. Now enrolling tomorrow's breathing specialist. Breathe easy.
Fine look there at the stadium tower side of JSU Stadium as we continue with the 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jam. Just a little over a minute left to go in this matchup, or 41 seconds actually left to go in this matchup between White Plains and Pleasant Valley. And again, fourth quarter action. You're seeing the B team guys, the younger guys getting out, getting some action here on the field. Thornton with a toss to Harris. Harris just biding his time, waiting for the opportunity to turn upfield. He finally does, and he'll gain a couple of yards on the play to about the 13-yard line.
And another stoppage in play.
Another timeout being called.
Like a timeout being called by White Plains.
Timeout with 32
Beautiful evening here at Jacksonville State. Just a few little clouds here and there, but mostly a lot of sunshine. Warm day out there on the field, and a beautiful day to enjoy some football action.
Taking a look at the Pleasant Valley schedule, they won those first two games last year at home against Vincent and Gaston. This year, they will try to win those on the road as they go to Shelby County and Etowah County for those games. Then Wellborn, Ohatchee, and Piedmont. That is as tough as it gets. Then Glencoe, Randolph County, a non-region game with West End. Then a very good Weaver team on the road at Bill Bryan Stadium that we saw here last night. And Spring Garden, a team that is one of the better teams in 1A in this part of the state of Alabama. And we'll take a look at the White Plains schedule coming up in just a couple of seconds here.
Third down for White Plains. Again, another handoff coming to the near side inside the 10-yard line. Bozarth in for a touchdown.
Touchdown, White Plains. And White Plains, technically, officially, looks like they're going to win this football game. After trailing the entire game, the B-team guys coming in and getting a touchdown and shutting out Pleasant Valley and getting the win. And there's some happy folks from White Plains here at JSU Stadium. There's the replay. A lot of blockers out front knocking down blue jerseys. And a touchdown into the end zone for White Plains as Ethan Bozarth takes it into the end zone for the score.
It looks like they'll try the two-point conversion. Don't see a lot of kicking in these JV games. And there's Harris going toward the corner, and he's in for the two. Jaden Harris on the two-point conversion. And that'll put White Plains up.
An exclamation point on something that White Plains didn't do last year. They were blown out here in the spring jam, and they didn't win a game last year. So this is going to be really great for Coach Chris White and all the folks at White Plains to go into the summer with a win, something they haven't experienced in a couple of years out there in football. So good job with that. And speaking of White Plains and getting momentum into the offseason, here's a look at the White Plains 2017 schedule. That 25th date is an open day. They'll play a jamboree game with Woodland there. Then they've got Ohatchee. They'll find out what they're made out of right off the bat there. Then they go to Aniana. And then look at that next two games. The two teams that I think might be the favorites in that region, Sax and Hoax Bluff. Hoax Bluff, of course, a team that was in the state semifinals last year. Westbrook Christian comes out to White Plains for a non-region game. And then that last part of the region schedule is Anniston, Cherokee County, Jacksonville, Asheville, and then Walter Wellborn for a non-region game. Last year, that game was on a Thursday night. Don't know if that's going to be on Thursday or not this year, but the game will be out at White Plains at Robertson Field.
Yeah, these coaches using all of their available timeouts, as Pleasant Valley calls a timeout, as they get ready to go on offense here.
And we know Sax is ready to go, because one of the things that's happening here is they've got their football team down in front of the field house here at JSU. They've been out there for most of this quarter. They are itching to get on the field. And the Sax High School Wildcat Marching Band is in the stands. And they are ready to go as well, already taking their spot here on the home side at JSU Stadium. Getting ready for the Russellville Golden Tigers, who have unloaded the 18-wheeler from Franklin County, and they are ready to go. They're in the dressing room over at Stevenson Hall, it looks like. And they will be making their emergence onto the field here. Rare chance for us here at East Alabama to take a look at the Russellville Golden Tigers.
Bonner was looking to throw, and he is going to be hit. They're going to call an incomplete pass. I guess the ball finally made it to the ground. His arm was in motion as he was trying to throw that ball when he got hit pretty hard in the backfield there. Should take a look at it from the end zone view.
And the clock will stop with 13 seconds.
It's amazing the ball ends up on the ground with that many people around it trying to grab it.
You would think this might be the last play of the game, but the way this fourth quarter is going, there's been some crazy things happen, so we'll see what happens here.
Bonner looks to throw again. Nice throw and catch for Pleasant Valley. The receiver is number 4. In our non-numeric roster, that will be Connor Wolf. Connor Wolf making a great catch there.
Nice catch in traffic, and it takes it all the way down to the 27-yard line. So now yet another timeout. This is not over yet. 4 seconds, one shot to throw it in the end zone. Hey, could Pleasant Valley, they could get a touchdown and two-point conversion, and they could win this game. So hold on. I may have been very premature in trying to give White Plains a win there.
4 seconds to go in this game. Remember, you're watching it live on TV 24 and streaming live at tv24.tv. And if you have a mobile device, you want to take it out with you, the best thing to do there is to download the live stream app. And you'll find us on live stream. Just download that app, then do a search for WEAC TV 24, and there you will find all of the things that we live stream on that channel there. And you will see the Calhoun County Spring Jam Day 2 stream, and that's where you'll find these games on your mobile device. You can let everybody know, all the folks from Russell will know that they can watch it streaming online even if they didn't make the trip all the way down here to Jacksonville. 4 seconds to go. Bonner going to the end zone, and it's going to be intercepted in the end zone, and that's the game.
Harris with the interception in the end zone, and White Plains has got to win. I'm sure that will be a lot of positive vibes for White Plains to carry into the offseason. Gerhard Mathangani is going to speak with White Plains coach Chris White here momentarily. We'll get ready to set the stage for Sachs Russellville. By the way, that game was originally scheduled to start at 7 o'clock. So if you're expecting that game to start anytime soon, probably more than likely they're putting 37 minutes on the clock. So it looks like we are shooting for a 7:30 kickoff. 7:35 kickoff. So that's where we're going, 7:30, 7:35, before we have that game between Russellville and Sachs underway. So both of these teams will have plenty of time to warm up here at JSU Stadium.
Waiting on Gerhard Mathangani to grab a coach to talk to down on the field. Between games, you will get a chance to see the Pleasant Valley Band and the White Plains Band again with their performances from last fall's Calhoun County Band Expo. You'll see the Sachs Band performing at halftime of the next game, along with the F&M Bank football toss. And let's go down to the field with Gerhard Mathangani.
Guys, I'm joined by both head coaches, Coach Nix and also coach for White Plains, Coach Chris White. Coach, you got down 13-0 early, 20 unanswered between the varsity and the JV. Both guys really look good. What changed there in this about mid-second quarter?
Well, I think mid-second quarter, we finally decided we could play a little bit. One thing I think we really worked hard on is the weight room this summer. And I still don't think we can't believe that we're strong as we are. You know, we still got a long ways to go. You know, just talking with the guys, the big thing for us in the spring was trying to be physical, and we started out very soft. I think once we decided we could play and be physical, it kind of changed for us a little bit.
Talk about the next few months, what this will bring to the program, getting a win like this over a very strong and improved opponent in Pleasant Valley.
Well, it'll be real big for us being such a rival team in the county. I think it's going to be great for us going into the summer. Our guys are hungry. They want to win. They're tired of that bad reputation. And I really feel like it's going to be real positive for us.
That's what I was going to talk about next was the fact that just getting the win. And a lot of people say, you know, wins and losses in spring football don't mean anything. But I think in certain situations they do. And it feels like for just watching your players and watching your fans and cheerleaders and band soak up this win is really important to them.
Oh, it's very big. I'm going to tell you what we told them all the whole spring was how we end this game today, how they going to react to you Monday at school. And we got to change the culture. It's got to change. That's what it's all about. Hats off to Coach Nixon and them. They give us everything we wanted. And we've got to decide we're tired of losing. That's what it's all about.
Good job, Coach. Continue success. We'll see you down the road. We'll flip over to here to Coach Nix of Pleasant Valley. All right, Coach, not the score you wanted to see on the end of the game, but talk about your team's production throughout the game, what you saw.
I mean, I was happy with the first quarter, but after the first quarter, it seemed like fatigue set in, and you know, and not making any excuses. We've got to get better in the summer. Our kids have got to understand that there's some of them that's got to stay on the field. So that means that they got to treat their body more like a temple, and they got to make sure that they're putting good stuff into their body, make sure that they're training like they're supposed to, and because you know football is a game of 4 quarters. It's not 1 quarter, and so you got to learn to play for 48 minutes, and that's one thing that we've got to get better at in the off season, especially in our region, because you know top to bottom, there's no other region like it in the state.
And that's one of my next things. How important is it in this summertime to be able to, whether it's motivation or in all the preparation, to be able to get your guys ready for, like you said, that 3A Region 5 gauntlet?
Well, it's very important. I mean, Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So you got to make a choice that you're going to get physical in the off season. You're going to make a choice to make sure that my body's in condition, that I don't have to tap out over here with a game on the line or something like that. Competitors want to find their cleat on the playing surface, not on the sideline. And today it seems like you got more and more kids always wanting to single on one side of the ball. Well, I need guys that want to be on the field all the time, that take it personal when they're on the sideline. And that's stuff that our kids will get better at. But that just shows to me a lot of toughness when a kid's out there on both sides.
Coach, congratulations, continued success, and we'll see you down the road. All right, Coach Jonathan Nix and Coach Chris White from both Pleasant Valley and from White Plains. As you heard, a lot of good things they'll take away from this, a lot of things they want to correct from this as well, but I think from the overall, from a standpoint, it's really, really positive. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Gerhard. We'll take a break and be back with more between game coverage of the 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jam.